Alex Kay, RGA, Burnaby, British Columbia.
My name is Masood Vaziri, right here at the Burnaby, BC office.
My name is Cody Langston. I'm 30 years old. I'm an MGA based out of the Burnaby, BC office.
My name's Mitchell Page. I'm an MGA here in the Burnaby office. I'll be 32 in May, so I'm currently 31.
Hey, I'm Jordan Studi. I'm 23 years old. I work for AIL Canada in the Burnaby office.
Hey, my name is Brad Bidner with AIL over at the Burnaby office.
Hey, my name is Emir and I'm 25 years old. I'm here in AIL Canada in the Burnaby office.
Hi, my name is Chris Voltello. I'm in the Burnaby office and I'm currently a personal producer.
Hi, my name is Monique Safari, General Agent at Burnaby, BC, American Income.
Hi, I'm Cam Raza. I'm 22 years old and I'm a supervising agent with AIL Canada.
So I was brought on by Shy Mate in July of 2017, just last year, and it was released into the field on the beginning of November, end of October.
Masood Vaziri brought me on, and I've been with the company for just over a year.
I was brought in by my regional manager, Nicholas Sabotic, and he brought me in back in January of 2017. So I've been with the company for just over a year now.
I'm Shy Mate. I was recruited by Jesse Doherty into the company 2.5 years ago.
I got recruited back in 2011 by Ron Pavon out of the Coquitlam, BC office.
I've been with the company since 2006. Prior to working here, I was a graduate of UBC in botany and genetics, studying genetically modified food crops.
I was recruited about 1.5 years ago through Jesse Doherty and another gentleman named Mike Clements.
My MGA is Shy Mate, and I was hired 4 months ago.
I was brought in by Shy Mate as a personal recruit of his. He recruited me. I was coded end of August, so I've been here for a little over 6 months.
I was hired by Troy Neva Plumber. They hired me back in May of 2016. So coming up on my 2 years here with the company. I got coded in August of the same year. Had a few things to deal with over the summer, which slowed me down a little bit, but got it done pretty much as soon as I was able to and moved on from there.
I was brought in by Chelsea and I started up with the company in September of 2017.
Before this, I was living in the Okanagan, studying business at Thompson Rivers University and serving at Match Eatery.
Previous to this job, I owned my own printing business with my spouse as well as my own clothing brand. And through trials and stipulations, I've realized that being an entrepreneur is something that I'm very, very passionate about. But I did go through the struggles of trying to start up my own businesses from scratch with no backing and no help. And it creates its challenges, and I'm extremely financially motivated. And when my friends Mike Clements and Jesse Doherty brought me in here for an interview, they presented the opportunity, and it seemed so appealing that I actually stopped operating my other 2 businesses and I started doing this full time, and I've never looked back since.
I got started with AIL because at the time I was frustrated waking up early in the morning to go to my construction job, getting paid less than I knew I deserved, and then going to my second job just so that way I could make ends meet. And even at the time, I still didn't feel like I was living the lifestyle that really was suitable to me or that I deserved or that I could accomplish. And so when the opportunity was given to be able to make a seriously large income while protecting families and having the opportunity to bring my friends in and work and choose to be in cooperation with the people that you want to grow with, I thought as a huge opportunity, and I couldn't turn that down.
Basically, how I started in the company was my father immigrated to the country. He worked really hard to get where he is, and what he wanted from me is not to have to work with my hands like he did. So just like most immigrant families that come to Canada, they want their kids to get that education. That's what they kind of preach, and get that good job after, and that's how you get set. I did exactly that. I worked really hard. I got myself a scholarship, double major, business and criminology. But it really came down to it. While I was going to school, I was the brokest of everyone I knew. All my friends, they went to trades, they had jobs, they had cars, they got to go on trips. We're like living outside of home. I could barely afford a car. I was living at home, did not have much money to go out, that typical student life. So I thought there had to be more. I've done everything my dad's told me, and I have nothing. I came in for an interview, and I saw the opportunity. I looked at it, and the opportunity was right there in front of me. The one thing Ron and Bobby Gujral always preached to me is, hard work is what's going to pay off. And that's what I knew how to do, is work hard. So that's where I jumped in and started growing within.
Prior to this, I was a graduate at UBC in botany and genetics, studying genetically modified food crops. Fantastic hobby, still remains a hobby today. But when I came out of university, I didn't really feel that that was going to be a life passion for me for my career. I mean, those were major decisions I made when I was 17, 18 years old. They just weren't compatible with who I was at that point. So I decided to go in the business world, look for a company that
So prior to American Income Life, I was working in the travel industry. I was a manager with Flight Center. I was there for about 5 years. And ultimately, I hit a bit of a ceiling within the company as to how far I was going to be able to go. And I knew that I wanted to be able to grow both professionally and personally. And so I needed a new challenge. So after being with the company for 5 years, I ended up taking some time off to transition into a new career, which ended up being American Income Life. And I started here as of January last year.
I used to do stocks exchange, commodities exchange, and cryptocurrency exchange. But recently I realized that I don't want to spend my time in front of a computer, and I wanted to be socialized and work in a team.
Before this, I was a heavy-duty mechanic and also a professional BMX rider, and I was just looking for a change and something where I could grow and help other people grow as well.
I used to work as a mortgage broker prior to this, and to be honest, as much as it was nice making money, but it wasn't so great being stuck inside a box and pencil pushing all day long and just making phone calls and emails, kind of dreading your 9 to 5 kind of day. But I was looking for something else, so something that would offer a lot of more interpersonal day-to-day stuff, talking to people, helping out people as well. What we do is here at this company is something fantastic, making sure that every family is protected. A lot of families don't come out knowing, how to make sure that if something were to happen to them, how they're going to stay safe and how to keep their families protected afterwards as well.
Before this, I went to school for 3D art and animation. That was kind of my background. I discovered very quickly that contract work with mandatory unpaid overtime was not the ideal industry for me personally to be in, but I still needed to pay off my student debt, so I went to work right away for a freighting company. Worked really hard there, advanced really quickly, but hit my ceiling pretty quickly as well. Within about 2 years of being there, I'd gone as far as I could go. The only people above me were the owner and the general manager. General manager was the owner's son, so not a lot of room for growth there. I wanted something where I could grow personally and professionally. I found my way here, and fortunately, Troy and Eva took me under their wing.
Before this, I was working in a construction company. It was actually my own construction company for design and fairs, exhibitions. I've always worked in the commercial area my entire life, so I saw the opportunity pretty fast when I came into AIL.
So, first couple weeks were really good. My first day I closed 3,200 ALP, and still one of the bigger days I've had. Not my best day ever, but it was great.
I got started within the company in the hiring department while I was studying for my course, and I was mentored by Eva Plummer, who taught me everything that I needed to know until I was ready to go out into the field.
So the first 2 weeks were fantastic. We hit the ground running. I was learning right off the bat the front to back training of everything you need to know and how to be successful in a business like this. You're never really left by yourself, and even when you're done your training, there's always help afterwards to make sure that you're growing, and so is everyone else around you that's growing as well.
First day I came in here, I saw the opportunity immediately. I wanted to get hired on the spot. Didn't have much of a challenge at the beginning. I just had to do the provincial, did it really quick, tested everything fast. The challenge was more of the training time to get into the field with somebody. That was a little bit more of a challenge, but the success for me was being out in the field my first couple of weeks. My first week was a 0, my second week was a hero, which means I helped a lot of families and was able to see the value immediately in the service that AIL provides.
So my first few months with the company were challenging. I mean, it really helped me to grow both personally and professionally. Transitioning into a new industry that I otherwise knew nothing about previously, it was a really big change in my life. I just turned 30 as of last year, and I knew that the next 10 years I wanted to be able to do something different. And ultimately, this was the position that I went for.
When I started with this job, I had a goal knowing that I wanted to be an MGA. I set out that goal to reach it within a year, and I achieved that goal in 9 months through hard work.
At the beginning of my career, I got started through sheer work ethic. I really knew right away, since I had no sales experience, no management experience, no business experience, that for me to be able to win, I needed to work twice as hard as the next guy. And so I put in a lot of time. I changed my schedule. I stopped doing anything really besides going to my full-time job to pay my bills and doing the licensing course. And I applied the same work ethic once I got in the field. And really, truly, the universe rewards those who work hard. And so once I started working hard and I got to systemize with the systems and processes that had been taught to me here at Altig and at American Income, it was only a short period of time before I started to find success.
Okay, so when I first started, my first couple months were really exciting. I had some really good field training from Masood and Ali. Masood's still in the office here. Ali's no longer. She went to go pursue her own thing, but really good training, a really fun time. Coded myself in early August, went on the road nice and early, started getting some enrollments under my belt, set a goal for myself to get to SA within 3 months. I did it in 2. I got promoted in August. Just a lot of fun, it's a bit of struggles early on, but that's true of any new job, and just had a lot of fun doing it. So
When I first started, the first few months in the company were like anything you start, the first time you try hockey, the first time you try a different sport or a different job, they're just growing. Now with AIL, the hardest part for me was the fact of up to this point, my life was scheduled for me. You have your sport practices, you have the day your classes are at, you're living at home, so you're kind of on your parents' schedule, your curfew, things like that. The one thing that really was the biggest change was I was in charge of my own schedule. I booked my own appointments, so I had to get used to that. It was an adjustment, but at the same time, I had to work really hard to learn the systems and processes in order to be successful. I couldn't come up here being a student and thinking that I'm above everything. I had to come here with that student mentality and make sure I learn everything I can to be as successful as I possibly could.
When I first started, it was very exciting. I didn't know much about business. So what I was very happy about is the company really chose to work with me for the person they felt I could become as opposed to the person that I was that day. I was told 2 things: work hard and listen to your mentors, and everything will take care of itself. So that's exactly what I was able to do. I started working hard, listen to my mentors, and just follow the system and the process that was laid out for me.
So a couple of my first weeks was a little bit tough. There was a lot of new things. It was overwhelming with the information that I was thrown at. But everything is a challenge, and I came over it.
So biggest personal achievement so far is earning a promotion within 4 months of being with this company and earning my supervising agent contract. And along with that, being a part of the management team and learning so much that the company has to offer and beyond the opportunity that might be initially presented.
At this point in my career, I would say that my biggest accomplishments are having been able to help at least 5 of my really close friends make over $100,000 in 1 year within the company, and that's an amazing thing to watch when you get the chance to see that and provide that kind of opportunity for all those people as well. And so that's probably one of my biggest accomplishments. Another accomplishment for me as well is that I've been able to become part of the Alpha Omega Leadership Society within Altig Orlovich, which is an amazing part of American Income, as well as also has become quite a successful master general agent. And like I said before, giving the opportunity to others is probably my greatest accomplishment.
Yeah, due to my work ethic, I was promoted to a supervisory position actually 45 days after I started. After 9 months, I was promoted to a full management contract, and I was invited to join the team that was running the Burnaby office at the time. After a year and 3 months of working with the company, they actually voted for myself to take over the entire Burnaby office, and I've been running the Burnaby office since.
So my biggest accomplishment with the company so far is that I was able to start off as an agent and move up to a manager contract in 8 months and be a manager within the #1 office in the company.
My biggest accomplishment so far would probably be our agency and the amount of growth that has come from it in the last year.
So I would say my biggest accomplishment so far has just been being able to set my own goals and achieve them. So when I first got coded, I set a goal for myself to learn enough to become a supervising agent within 3 months and an MGA within a year. And I succeeded in both those things. I wanted to be an SA in 3 months. Like I said, I did it in about 2.5 months. And then my MGA ship, I got 11 months into the business. So I would say so far that's my biggest accomplishment, is just being able to achieve the goals that I set for myself without having goals set for me.
My biggest accomplishment so far, I was top producer in the month of December, and then shortly after that I got my supervising contract, and I've just been helping my agents grow and hit their production goals, and also just growing my organization.
My biggest achievement is in January, so my 3rd month after I started, I netted $8,000 to my pocket and sold about 16,000 ALP and helped a lot of families.
Biggest accomplishment so far, personally, I believe has all been on the personal production side of the company. I spent a lot of my years personal producing. My favorite one, when I look back into it, was in 2016. After I got back into it after being hurt for a couple months, I just decided to go on a road trip, and I broke 50K, 50,000 of ALP production in one single month, and I did it in the shortest month of the year in February 2016. And even more exciting is I went back into it in March and did the exact same thing twice in a row. So in my mind, that's my biggest accomplishment, when I obtained the Gold Cup membership and my Squire ring.
My biggest accomplishment was achieving MGA in 9 months' time. I set out a goal to do it within a year's time, which was already a big goal for myself, being in an industry that I'd never been in before. But AIL and our office here at Burnaby provided all the tools and the structure in order for me to succeed, and I was able to obtain that goal in 9 months' time versus a year.
I have realized the importance of personally recruiting, and I've recruited 6 of my friends, and I have about 10 more to come.
Great. So my 5-year goal is to open up hopefully a new office, either down in the States or within another territory within Canada, and grow my own agency, and seeing, following the path of many of the great managers that we have here, and building successful individuals and helping everybody along and making a great earning for themselves.
5-year plan is to become RGA and basically just build my RGA ship as big as I possibly can. Hopefully eventually hit VP of sales. But mainly I just want to help other people grow and have other people become successful. That's a big thing for me in this company.
My 5-year plan within the company would be to run my own territory and to successfully open up an office from scratch.
Within 5 years at American Income, I see myself being the Vice President of Sales. I expect to have over 15 MGAs. I want to take several territories. I'm going to move several times. I want to run multiple offices, and I want to be making over $1 million a year. I want to know what it means to truly run the company.
So my 5-year goal with the company is I want to continue to grow myself and develop my skills to the point where I can earn enough trust with the company that they'll let me open my own office, ideally in the States. I need them to sponsor me, so I want to prove enough that they can sponsor me for a green card. Then I can go work in California or Colorado or someplace fun, a little more, make some American dollars, and then come back to Canada with all that money. That's my plan.
In the next 5 years, I'd like to keep working myself up. I'd love to eventually become a VP of sales. If I can achieve that within the 5 years, great. If I don't, it's not going to stop me from making my way to the top.
So in about 5 years, I have this mentality where I work a lot harder in the cold. So personally, in 5 years, I see myself living in California, working to get sponsored, to work in the States, but at the same time actually working in Alaska, somewhere where it's cold. Because when it's colder, I work harder, and I love working hard.
I want to make $250,000 in a year, especially my 2nd year after learning the 1st year, and I want to be an RGA within the 5 years.
My 5-year goal with the company is to develop more people, share the opportunity, have more people enjoy the type of financial freedom that I have and other people in our organization have, and help them achieve their goals and dreams.
My 5-year plan is MGA next year, and then I want to be an RGA for the next 4 years after that, and ultimately vested in 10.
So my goal in 5 years' time is to become a regional manager and ultimately move for the opportunity to be able to open up my own office with my own agency in my own territory.